Our topic is all about the ICT competency standards for Philippine pre-service teacher education. These are the learning outcomes that you need to attain and at the end of this session. First, identify the domain of the learning outcomes. Second, explain the ISTE standard for teachers and ISTE standards for students. And construct a checklist of competency standards that align to the ICT competency standard for pre-service teachers. To begin with this, ICT competency standards, the CHAD, the UNESCO, or the Commission on Higher Education, the United Nations, the Educational, Scientific, and the Cultural Organization, as provided in the 2017, the Policy Standards and Guidelines, or PSG, for pre-service teachers education, the ICT competency standards for pre-service teachers. We have 7 domains under the ICT competency standards, and each domain has a set of competencies. The competencies are expressed in desired learning outcomes, so these are designed for becoming proficient in the different competencies will enable you to handle the 21st century learners in your future classroom. We have here domain 1, understanding ICT and education. It is very important that every teacher should demonstrate the understanding and education and have to accept that ICT is a part of teaching and learning process. Even if you are 40 plus and say that I am older to that matter, no, don't say that, because we need to enter the digital world in order to cope with the students with digital world is asking from us. We have here domain 1, understanding ICT and education. It is very important that every teacher should demonstrate the understanding and education and have to accept that ICT is a part of teaching and learning process. Even if you are 40 plus and say that I am older to that matter, no, don't say that, because we need to enter the digital world in order to cope with the students with digital world is asking from us. We have 3 indicators in domain 1, the understanding ICT and education. What are those? In here, you cannot say that, oh, I understand the ICT rules in education. I already know that. But no, it should not end with your understanding. You need to demonstrate the awareness of the policies, the do's and the don't. You have to comply with ICT policies as they affect the teaching and learning, and then you have to contextualize the ICT policies to the learning environment. In order for you to gauge your understanding in ICT in education, you have to understand these 3 indicators. So any question, if you have any questions, so don't hesitate to leave a comment in our comment section, and next meeting we will answer your questions. Shall we proceed? Let's proceed to the domain 2, the curriculum and the assessments. We have here at least 4 indicators. The curriculum implementation, the indicator of its success is the assessment. Whatever the result of your assessments, that's the indicator of your, or if your curriculum on your teaching approaches was succeed. So in here, you as a teacher should demonstrate the understanding of concepts as they apply to teaching and learning process, and then you need to evaluate the digital and non-digital resources. Not because you are living in the digital world we are pushing the digital learning. No, because there are times that we need to utilize the non-digital learning, specifically that our students have diverse needs, so they are different in needs. Here, diversity should not divide the classroom, that everyone should be included. So there should always be an inclusion in our classroom. Whether you are digitally equipped or not, you are accepted in the classroom. So that's why you as a teacher should also develop the digital and non-digital resources in order for you to respond to the students have diverse needs. So did you get the point? Okay, domain 3, the pedagogy. The development of digital learning resources should enhance the teaching learning. You as a teacher should always process, because it is not enough that this ICT will be the one who teaches the students. It's always you. It's always you to process the information. So never play with the technology. So it should not make you as lazy, but it should make your work as a teacher easier. In domain 3, we have three indicators here. First indicator, apply the relevant technology tools for classroom activities, meaning to say, you have to apply the only relevant technology tools in your classroom. So whatever is available, then that is the technology tools that you're going to apply in your classroom activities. Second, use the ICT knowledge to solve the complex problems and support the students' collaborative. The pedagogy, the way on how you are going to teach your class is to improve the use of the ICT. This ICT should not limit the students, but it should open the doors for them to try something new way of producing output. Okay, the number 3, the model collaborative knowledge construction face-to-face and virtual environment. So as a teacher, we should acknowledge that our class is made out of many people with different personalities. So all you have to do is to teach them on how to collaborate with each other, even though in virtual or face-to-face. So the technology has a lot of positive effects in the teaching, learning, especially during the online class, especially during the pandemic era. So we are down in the domain for the technology tools. So we have here three technology tools that would challenge us to demonstrate the competence in the technical operation, especially during the pandemic era. It is necessary for the teachers to undergo a series of seminars for them to be familiarized with the online technology, such as the online classroom, the Moodle, or the LMS. And you need also try to hands-on because it is very important. So don't be afraid in operating those technology. So let us technology tools to create the new learning opportunities. So I would like to emphasize that everyone should learn this technology, especially you as a future educators. We are now in Domain 5, the organization and administration. Domain 5, the inclusive classroom environment, meaning to say that everyone is included, even if you are digitally enhanced or not, or even if you are able or disabled. But an inclusive classroom is for everyone, that everyone is be included, and at the end of the day, everyone should learn from it. So this technology should limit the students, but should make the students think more and act more and collaborate with another. We are now in domain 6, the teacher professional learning. So this talk about you as a future educator. You need to learn, explore and emerging technology and learning technology in order to improve the teaching and learning process. Utilize the technology tools in creating the new group of students who are active in digital world. And lastly, you collaborate with peers. So there's no wrong with asking because collaborating means you are working with other people so you learn from them, and then in collaboration you will be enhanced more and more, and at the end of the day you will become more effective teacher. We are now in domain 7, the teacher disposition. In here, the teacher should always know the limitation in using technology. So there's a time that we have to say no, and we will use the non-digital approach. We have to maximize its use and don't stop learning. If there's a new app, and you have to learn from it and go for it. And also we have to consider the ethical side of using ICT, specifically in the social media. So you are the future educator, you are the role model. So everything you do is being seen by everyone. So you have to be careful so that we will be not misunderstood and at the end of the day. Okay, let's proceed to the ISTA, the standard for teacher and for students. So, okay, the International Society for Technology and Education, or the ISTA, is the foremost organization in teaching technology in the classroom. As the result, the ISTA has more a dozen quality standards for how the students and teachers should approach technology in the classroom. The Department of Education issued the Department of Education Order 42 Series to 2017. In the DepEd Ed Order number 42, it mandates that the PPST, that the beginner teacher who are fresh graduate, when you apply, these are the requirements. So your knowledge in ICT is major requirements because it states here that your documents includes show the skills in the positive use of ICT. ISTA, the National Educational Technology Standards for Teachers. STE, the Society for Technology and Education. So when we put the I, it becomes International Society for Technology and Education. So we have here a lot of standards. Standard number one, the technology operations and concepts. So this means that the teacher will demonstrate a sound of understanding of technology operations and concepts. Standard number two, the planning and designing learning environment experiences. So these standards implies that the teacher should utilize the use of technology to plan and design the effective learning environment and experiences. Standard number three, teaching, learning, and curriculum. So the teacher should be mindful that in the implementation of curriculum plan, so they have to include the strategies for applying technology to maximize the students' learning. In standard number four, assessment and evaluation, so the teacher should apply the technology to facilitate a variety of effective assessment and evaluate the strategies to collect and analyze data, interpret the results, and communicate findings to improve the instructional practice and maximize the students' learnings. Standard number five, the productivity and professional practice. The teacher should use the technology to engage in ongoing professional development and lifelong learning of support of students, increase the productivity, and to build a community of learners. Standard 6, the social, the ethical, and the legal human issues. So the teacher should understand the social, the ethical, and the legal human issues surrounding the use of technology in support of the students' learning who come from the diverse background, affirm diversity, and to promote safe and healthy with the use of technology resources and facilitate the access of technology resources for all of the students. So we are now in the IST, in the National Educational Technology Standards for Students. Standard number one, the creativity and innovation. This standard will produce the students who demonstrate the creative thinking, construct a knowledge, develop innovative products, and process using the technology from existing knowledge. Standard number two, the communication and collaboration. So this standard requires the students to use of digital media and environments to communicate and work collaboratively to support the individual learning and to contribute the learning of others. So this includes the use of a variety of media and formats of global awareness with the learners from the other cultures. Standard number three, the research and the information fluency. So the students are expected to apply the digital tools to gather and evaluate and use the information and plan strategies for inquiry. So this standard expect the students to locate, to organize, to evaluate, to synthesize, and ethically the information of variety of sources in the media. Standard number four, critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making. So this standard expect the students to use the critical thinking skills to plan and to conduct a research, to manage projects, to solve problems, and make informed a decision using appropriate digital tools. And standard number five, the digital citizens. So it requires by this standard that every students become a digital citizen who demonstrate the ethical and the legal behavior. So amplified by the practice of safe, legal, and responsible use of information. So furthermore, the students exhibit a positive attitude toward the support of technology for the collaboration, learning, and productivity as a digital citizen. We are now in the standard 6, the technology operation and concepts. So sounds of understanding of technology concepts, the system and the operation is standards that the students should comply with. So they are expected to further transfer the current knowledge to learning with the new technologies. As a pre-service teacher education students, now you have to master the knowledge and skills, the learning to know for the standards for students. So however, since you will become a teacher in the near future, you should harness the same knowledge and skills to become a learning effective learners or effective educators in the near futures. So that would be all. Thank you.